Alright, so today in class we were talking about converting units using proportions. And we might be able to do some unit conversion in our head just knowing things like 12 inches equals 1 foot. So if you had 3 feet, that would be 36 inches. But we want to look at how you can use proportions to just always remind yourself exactly which operation you're going to do. This is going to come in handy a lot in the future for various types of problems where you'll be setting up proportions and then proportions will tell you exactly how to solve the problem. All right, so let's say we were starting out and we had a problem and it said something like we wanted to know 2 cups equals how many fluid ounces. Okay, we could look at our little chart that we have or any place where we can find unit conversions, and we would look for cups and fluid ounces, and we would see 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. So most of us would know at this point we would just do 2 times 8, so that would give us 16 fluid ounces. But we can also do this using a ratio, and this is how we will do that. We'll look at our chart, bring that back again, and we have 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. So I'm going to set up a ratio. I'm just going to write it 1 cup on top is my numerator, and then 8 fluid ounces down here is my denominator. Now I'm keeping my units here just to remind me exactly what's on top and what's on bottom. It's very important. Put my equal sign, and I'm going to just use the same numbers I have. So I have 2 cups, I want to know how many fluid ounces. So on the other side of my ratio, since this is going to be proportional, I'm going to put 2 cups, and then since I don't know how many fluid ounces, I'm just going to use x as my variable. I'm going to put x fluid ounces. So I'm gonna keep my units the same. Cups are on top on both sides, ounces and the fluid ounces are on the bottom on both sides. That's the most important thing that you do, because we know 1 to 8 should be the same thing as 2 to something else. I could see it's 1 times 2, so I could do 8 times 2 is 16. I could also cross multiply as we were doing in class. 1 times x equals 8 times 2, or x equals 16. So that gives me 16 fluid ounces. So with these problems, they don't seem as necessary to do the proportions, but they can definitely come in handy when we are working with decimals. And maybe we're not sure, do we multiply, do we divide, how do we do that? So let's say we had the problem 10 fluid ounces equals how many cups? So we're going to start always by looking at our chart and saying, okay, which measurement is this? Okay, 1 cup, 8 fluid ounces. So I would write that ratio, 1 cup to 8 fluid ounces. I know that's always going to be true. I'm going to put an equal sign, and then I'm going to take the information from my problem. I had 10 fluid ounces equals how many cups? So I'm going to write my ratio, and on the bottom I'm going to put my ounces, because ounces will always stay on the bottom. So I had 10 fluid ounces here, and then x cups. Alright, so at this point I can't really turn 8 into 10 by an easy multiplication problem. So I'm going to cross multiply. So that gives me 1 times 10 equals 8x, or 10 equals 8x. And when we're cross multiplying, we do cross multiply and then divide. They almost always go hand in hand. Cross multiply and then divide to finish solving. So I divide by 8, divide by 8. That'll cancel those. And so then I'm doing 10 divided by 8. 1 time minus 8 gives me 2 left over. Add my decimal point. 0 drops down. 2 times minus 16 gives me a 4. Bring down another 0. And minus 40, 0. So then my decimal point goes up right here, and I have just proven that x is going to equal 1 and 25/100ths. So then I would put that back up as my answer up here, 1.25 cups. So 10 fluid ounces equals 1 1/4 cups, or 1 and 25/100ths. It's the same thing. All right, so that's definitely a way that we can use to convert units using proportions. This would also work for inches or yards. And it'll really be helpful for when we're working with decimals or we're not sure whether we're supposed to be dividing or multiplying.